What's up, guys? TruckDriver101.com. Let's keep this short. If you are a new truck driver and you are interested in getting into trucking, you can go to truckdriverbooks.com, and pick up my new audiobook. It'll help you know how much school should cost. It'll help you understand the trucking industry. It'll show you what to expect during training. All right. So, enough of the advertisements. Let's talk about the FMCA and their recent study that we're all waiting on to see if they've returned the 34-hour break back to its ridiculousness. Now, here's my thing about 34-hour break. I like the 34-hour break. I think it was better than the old 24-hour rule. However, I do understand the FMCA is concerned about rest, but I think to me, should have made this. If you're going to implement this rule, I don't agree with it. But if you're going to implement this 1 to 5 rule, it should happen the second time you run up your hours. In other words, if you go on the road and you're over the road and you're out there and you do your first week, you're 70 all the way through. Then when you restart your hours, then that next time you run your 70s out, or you're using midnight, when you get to that 7th day or 8th day, then you get the 1 to 5. Because ultimately it's made to battle fatigue. And if you've ever been over the road, fatigue doesn't really set in, or you don't feel tired until that second week. That first week, you're banging, When you restart your hours, about the middle point of that second week, you start to get a little bit slower. If you're like me, like I ran 8 weeks, by that last week, I'm a good truck driver. Not great. And you don't feel sleepy. It's just an accumulation of stress, And, having a longer break would help drivers. I think that definitely is true, but you got to let people actually earn a real paycheck, And then the study is, it's not real. I mean, it's 220-something drivers. At least that's what I read in the story. I could be wrong. I haven't gone to DOT site. I know I should, but we're going to go with this story because for every other study I've read the Fmcsa has done, it has not been any in-depth study. I mean, a true study should have massive numbers. You should be talking about 500,000 drivers, to me at least. I mean, that's what I would consider a study of, 4.5 million drivers. I mean, that's the last estimate I saw of how many truckers are out there. And so if it's 4.5, 500,000, and you got to me, go at least 10 years, because you get the ups and downs of the economy, you get the influx of younger drivers and older drivers, and you get a true level study that would show, all that different kind of, just how all those things affect driving. And we just don't have that. For some reason, there's no desire to study. And part of that, I think, is like recently I was reading DOT or the FMCA is trying to promote night driving as a way of reducing accidents. And again, I don't understand. It's like night driving is when we create tragedies. I mean, nothing good happens at night. I mean, it doesn't happen. And they still want, they're still promoting this. Refrigerated trucks deliver at night all the time, but obviously a lot of it's not delivery, it's pickup, because when you deliver at 3 o'clock in the morning, you don't get out to 7 o'clock in the morning, you go to your next pickup, you wait, maybe you get out there back in traffic around 10 or noon or something like that, depending on where you're going and where you are, but bottom line is most companies drive at night anyway. They do stocks and foods, but they have to do the pickup. And the FMCA seem to not know that. Like, you don't have to promote this. They were talking about spending, I believe it's like $200,000 to promote it. It's like, why? Why? As long as a company needs to stock their shelves, they're always going to receive deliveries at night. What you should be focused on and spending that $200,000 on is when these night accidents happen, don't just go after the driver, go after the company. Part of this, this whole drivers just drive crazy at night, or drivers just drive crazy, period, for the hell of it, is bullshit. I mean, they do it for money, and there just seems to be no effort to kill that part of the industry. I get when everybody goes, well, responsibility lies with the driver. Well, let's get the problem right. The driver is what? They hire what, 30 drivers a week everywhere? Right, 40 drivers a week everywhere? So when you have so many drivers in and out, how can you, what's the point of teaching one driver to take a stand if he can be replaced by 80 drivers? And of course, out of the 80 drivers within, I mean, let's face it, like Warner probably hired, I don't know, 30, 40 people a day at every terminal, right? Let's just hypothetically say they hired 30 to 40 people a day at every single terminal. And let's see, let's go 5 times in a week. We got 150 a week. 150 people a week. Let's just hypothetical. Right. Out of those 150 people, I can at least get 3 to drive illegally. Right? And the company knows that. The dispatcher knows that. They need to deal with the bonus systems that entice bad driving. They need to deal with the dispatchers that entice bad driving. They need to deal with the brokers. If I could redesign the industry, it would be a load board, and trucking companies would be finance companies, and they would finance your truck, and everybody would be basically in a lease purchase or you own your own truck. And then we'd end all this bullshit because then it would be all on you. It wouldn't be about getting Joe Blow's freight from point A to point B for that little nod bonus, right? It would have to be on the board that way. And then you and the shipper could go to jail. So anyway, that's my little rant about all that. I'll talk to you guys later. Truckdriver101.com. This is long enough. Talk to you guys later.